G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, starting my playthrough of 7 Days to Die, in what I'm calling my 7 Days to Die Down Under edition. So I talked about this in my last intro to 7 Days to Die video. Being from Australia, we don't really have ready access to guns. So, as I said, I could walk down my street, which is a couple of kilometers long, and probably go through every single house, and I doubt I'd find a single gun. Although I don't live in the best neighborhood, so maybe that isn't really quite accurate. But you could do that in any reasonable neighborhood in Australia, anywhere in Australia. You could go from house to house to house, and you would not expect to find a gun anywhere. Also, you know, crafting new ammunition for guns really... I don't believe is possible. Crafting new guns, I don't believe is really possible in these sorts of situations where it's, you know, society has fallen and you don't really have access to stuff. So I'm going to be playing, not without guns, but if I find a gun, I will use it, but I'm tending to only use them during the Blood Moon. And I'm not going to craft any new ammunition. I'm not going to craft any new guns. So this is going to be the Ranger Tony playthrough. I'm still going to keep it on scavenger level. 60 minutes worth of daylight, 24 hours is 60 minutes. Daylight length is 18. 70, that's fine. Everything's going to be walking there. I'm going to see where airdrops are. Airdrops every 3 days is fine. I'm leaving the rest of this... Oh, drop on death. I don't like that mechanic, so I've turned that off. I thought there was one other setting I wanted to change somewhere. Now, what was it? Oh, it was the initial missions. I thought there was a way to turn those off. Loot abundance, blood moon count, enemy spawning, air raid, cheat mode. No, there's no real way to turn those off, so that's fine. With those early missions, I don't always do them all straight away, but that then does limit the XP that I get early games. So we'll see what happens there. Now, the other thing I didn't talk about in the last video was to do with weapons. Essentially melee weapons. The one thing I think this game really needs... This is a different start. This is yet another different starting point. Where am I? I don't know where I am. I'm going to have to try and... Oh, man. Okay, let's start. At least I'm in the sort of forested area, but I really need to find water. The thing I liked about the previous place I started... Or the place where I've built. If you saw my previous video where I built... I'll come back to that bird's nest. The one thing I tend to forget to do is destroy the bird's nest, because you get extra feathers when you do that. I've got enough stuff here to craft the bedroll, so let's progress with this stuff and just get it out of the way. I'm going to drop that. I will put that in my thing for now. Let's put that there. Actually, let's not put that there. I'm not going to use it until it gets dark. Let's just put those there and there. And what's that? 5. Let's just... And then pick it back up again. That gets us past that. Okay, it's going to then want us to... craft some clothes, I think. Oh no, stone axe, good. That's what I want. rocks. That's not a rock. Come on, where's some more rocks? Or stones. Or, there we go. Right, let's craft the stone axe. Beautiful. And let's, before I forget, no, thank you. Where was that? There it is. There we go. We got another feather out of that. That's good. Can never have too much cotton or golden. Well, maybe you can have too much goldenrod, but cotton's useful. What it wants to do, build some clothes now, doesn't it? Craft. Right. Ooh. Padded gloves. We'll take those. A little bit of armor. Never hurt anybody. Okay, that's just going to be scrap. Oops, I didn't pick it up. And there we go, because we get a bit of cloth from those as well. Club. Most useless item you can use in the game. I need to gather some more wood. Gather from these first. Okay, we're going to find out if there's any zombies in here. If there are, they're being incredibly sneaky. Normally they don't put zombies within a certain radius of where you start, or at least that's what it seems like. I really have to work out where I am. I want to be near a source of water, so that's why I generally build right near a river. This sort of land is good for hunting. There's usually rabbits around if you can catch them, and occasionally deer, which is good. Another egg, or bird's nest I should say. Let's build this club. I build the club, and then I never keep those pine seeds. Let's scrap that. I immediately scrap the club to get the wood back because I don't need it for anything else. Make a primitive bow. Very good. We'll do that. Craft. And then we need to make some arrows. At the moment we can make just 3 because we're low on stone. I've got a funny feeling stone's going to be my big thing here. Now, they never ask you to build stone spears, but they are the big thing that I really want at this point, because the spear is a better weapon. And I was going to talk about weapons, so let's do that before I forget too much. Sure, this game concentrates a lot on guns as far as weapons, and you know that is a part of the American culture, and that's where this game is set and where the game is developed, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't believe that guns are all that useful in a zombie apocalypse, because as I've said before in my other video on this, maintaining a gun... Oh man, if I only had more stuff, I would be taking on that ball. I still don't have enough stone, that's right. Maintaining a gun, keeping it functional, keeping a supply of ammunition for it, would be a hellish task in this sort of environment. And you've only got to look to, even way back in movies like Mad Max 2, where I believe there is a scene in either 2 or 3, I can't remember which one, where Max is driving along and he has an old sawn-off shotgun and he has one last shell for it. and he takes it out and he puts it in. He's driving this massive big truck at the time, and he takes a shot at the bad guy, and it just refuses to fire. The cartridge is no good. And quite frankly, that's the thing. This isn't like Project Zomboid, where you can start the game and it's 2 days after the virus outbreak. This is obviously several months or years after the virus outbreak. You've only got to look at the condition. Oh, Nelly, are we where I think we are? We might be really, really close to the big lake. If that's the lake there, we're in a really good starting position. Yeah, this isn't like days after the apocalypse, because you look at that building and the state it's in. It's falling down. That building has been in disrepair for years, right? And therefore, any ammunition that you find has probably been stored for years and is probably in a really bad state. So the chances of it actually working would be almost nil. Like, I wouldn't want a chance using it. I'm going to take a chance here. If there's a zombie in this house, it's gonna know I'm here soon. But I need stone, so I'm going to take these piles of rubble and go through them, because I need stones for arrow tips and to be able to make a spear. And in fact, I really should stop right there and craft a spear before too much longer, because that's going to be my primary melee weapon. I'm going to learn that pistol schematic, but I'm never going to make it. I'm just learning it to, well, get the XP, really, and get it out of my inventory. Ooh, interesting. There is a little cavern underneath this house. There might be some good loot down there. Yeah, so I don't find it feasible that guns would work in this zombie apocalypse situation. Sure, if it was 2 days after the zombie apocalypse started and the zombies were starting to break out, if you've got a gun, go nuts, man. You're not going to have a problem. But if this is set a couple of years after the outbreak, you've got no guarantee that the ammunition that you're going to be using is any good. And I don't know what the shelf life of ammunition is, but it's certainly not infinite. And, I really wouldn't trust homemade ammunition, because you've got to consider the fact that most ammunition these days is not made with black powder. It's made with a smokeless gunpowder, whose formula I do not know, but it's not as simple as charcoal and saltpeter, like, or sulfur, saltpeter and charcoal, I think it is what gunpowder is. It's not, this stuff that they call smokeless powder these days is not that simple to make. Frankly, you probably have more luck cooking meth than you would trying to make that gunpowder in this sort of situation. So if you're just using black powder, one of the reasons why black powder is not used anymore is because it doesn't quite have the power needed to work with modern weapons. And I'm not an expert, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I've got a funny feeling that any semi-automatic weapon that uses the expanding gas from the firing of the powder to cycle the weapon may not work if you're just using black powder, as opposed to the new smokeless powders that they use that are much, much better. So that's the enigma. Guns, I knew there'd be a zombie in there. Guns I really wouldn't trust in this environment. So what would I trust? Well, yeah, sure, you got this spear and it works at a reasonable distance, and definitely, I trust a bow, because that's who I am. I'm Ranger Tony, and if you can put a bow in my hand, I'll take it any day of the week, and that's all the arrows that I made. let's make the rest of the arrows that I can for now. Yeah, I'm definitely an archer by heart, so I'll trust a bow any day of the week, but I recognise that it's not always feasible, and in particular, in a zombie apocalypse, you know, canonically, the way that you kill a zombie is take its head off, and I've recognised that in this game, aiming for the head with a bow is not that good an option. So instead, I just aim for the body, and it takes, generally, for even the weaker zombies, with the stone arrows and the primitive bow, it takes 3 to 4 shots to take down a zombie, and I know with the better equipment it would take less, and that's all fine. But there's got to be a better way, and I think there is. I think what this game needs is... Well, what would I take into a zombie apocalypse? I would take a warhammer and a shield. And that's something that I'm sure it has been done. I just haven't seen it. And as I said, I'm over the genre. I think it's overused. I don't watch any zombie movies. I don't watch The Walking Dead or any other zombie TV shows because I feel like they're just the same old thing. Everything's been around. The zombie stuff has been way overdone. Pick a new genre. You know, come up with something new. Oh, damn it. How did I know that was going to happen? As soon as I knew that this was down here, I knew that I was going to fall at some point. And I'm sort of surprised there wasn't a zombie in the water there waiting for me. Ooh. I think I've been to this house before. That's a fully functional... Man, it is so tempting to take over this house and fix it up. Having a fully functional... Okay, I'm going to take these rounds, but as I said, I'm not making any new ones. If I find a shotgun and I can use it, great. One thing to be aware of, in the notes here, it talks about workbenches, and it says, inside your land claim area, all workstations can be picked up by holding E and selecting Take from the radial menu. So that would make you think that you could put down this land claim block and then pick up this workbench and take it with you and put it in your new home. You can't. It will not work. Sorry to tell you that. This is a pre-existing workbench. That rule about picking up workbenches, it only seems to apply to workbenches that you have created and placed within your land claim area originally. If it already existed and you put down a land claim block, sorry, you don't get it. Which is a pain, because that would be really, really nice. I don't know if I looked properly down there to see if there's anything down the bottom there. Sometimes there is. No, nothing there. Good. Over here, nothing. Anything that's in... it might be worthwhile. I have found... This was ridiculous. The other... yesterday, I think it was, when I was doing preparation for these episodes... Oh no, that's going to take forever to break that down. I had a grill like this on what this is meant to be a furnace, I guess. I broke through that, and then I took out... I destroyed all the coals, the fire, to get the coal out of it so that I could use that. And underneath the coal was an ammo stash. That's all I'm going to say. Just... no. Anyway, let's head back upstairs. And we'll be a little bit more careful looting. Yeah, we've done that. We were coming over here. Nothing in there. Good. Okay. God damn it. Oh, there is a chest down here. And how's this? Munitions underwater. So, you know, what state are these bullets going to be in? I really... yeah. I don't know what to say about that. No, I think the game needs shields. You know, I'm a Viking with my shield type of thing, which is why I feel that this game would work really well as a fantasy game in which you just replace all the zombies with different fantasy monsters. You could still have the Blood Moon, but now it would be like a curse that's on the land that you have to, you know, maybe find some artifact and destroy it to release the curse and stop these monsters from attacking. And the towns that you see around here wouldn't be completely abandoned. There would be some people in them, but the monster attacks would have everybody, you know, some people have left, and so there would be some empty buildings, etc. Anyway, that's my idea for what I would like to see the game become. Or, you know, and I've thought about maybe trying to build a mod that does that, but modding to that level would be a hell of a lot of work. Okay, we've done... we've got most of the stuff that I'm going to want from here. Sure, I can spend time picking up more of these plants, but what I need to do right now is I need to find where the hell I am, and if, as I suspect, thankfully the boars don't seem to attack you. The boars don't seem to attack you unless you attack first. But man, I'd love to kill that boar and get some meat off him. That would be very, very good. I'm going to see... I'm just going to pause for a sec and see if I can work out where I am on the map. I have a map on a wiki that I'm just going to check on. Hang on a sec. Okay, we are where I think we are, and that is awesome. So, the lake that I normally do is right here. So I'm going to finish off the rest of this stuff here because it's going to point me probably to which direction? Over this way here somewhere is where the trader is. Off in that direction. So I'm just going to really quickly... Oh, look at this, we're carrying too much stuff. Let's scrap that. Keep that. That's useless, so I'm going to scrap that. Drop the lead. Scrap that. Drop the aloe vera seeds. Keep that. Scrap that. Drop that for now. Drop that. Good, we've got some coal. I don't want the chrysanthemum for now, although it is useful. Let's put the sham up there and the glass jars there. Beautiful. Let's make one of these. Craft. Okay. Oh, need to put it in my slot. Oh, I've got to wait. There we go. And 5, and place, and build, and destroy. Here comes the zombie. Is there any others? Oh god, there's a wolf over there. Okay. Let's try and take this guy out quickly. Damn it. There we go. It's down. Sink one into enemies down. And that's it. Let's get back as many of those as we can. 18 arrows. Can I take on this wolf? Damn it, that missed. Don't know if I'm going under or over here. I don't want to waste too many arrows on this guy. Oh, come on. How am I still missing? Finally. Alrighty. Didn't have any bones yet. Nothing to use as a knife. Let's just use this. Is that enough bones to make a bone knife? Yep. Until I can get another knife, this will be the best thing to slaughter with. Get just a little bit more of everything, and I want the fat and the meat more than anything. The leather will be nice, but it's the fat and the meat that I mostly want. So is this the way that I want to go? It is. Okay, craft the campfire. No, you know what? I'm going to wait. It's getting a bit into the afternoon. I'm going to leave that other zombie there. Now this is the camp this is the lake and everything that I want. Now, I could head down this side of the lake because that's where I'm actually going to want to be, but I think there is a really nice house on the other side of the lake. And if you can ever find these sorts of houses, I'm going to show it to you. If you can ever find this sort of house, it's a great place to hold up for the night. Okay, I misjudged. The house I thought was actually back up north there actually wasn't there. So I'm going to hold up I'm going to clear out this house and hold up here for the night. Yeah, I'm going to clear out this house and hold up here for the night. I'm going to leave the episode here, though. And when we come back, it'll be tomorrow morning, and we're just going to go at the bridge is just over there, and where those couple of trees are over there, that's where we're going to be building our base. So I'm going to loot the bejesus out of this, and we'll come back tomorrow morning. It's, 5:45 in the afternoon here. We've still got a few hours of sunlight left, but I need a little bit of time to clean this place out, and there's not enough time to build significant defenses over there to last the night. So at least I'll be able to go upstairs in here and barricade off the lower floors once I've cleaned that place out, and I should be reasonably safe for the night. So thank you for joining me for this episode of 7 Days to Die Down Under. If you like this episode, please give me a like and share it with your friends. Be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all the latest episodes, and I will see you for the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.